Let's look at one more background process. We're going to look at this one in Procreate. I'm going to show you the layers building up on top of an initial background that I had created in Procreate by just blending together a bunch of different gray and off-white gouaches. And you're just seeing the layers now being added in on top of that prepared background that I started with before I put the sketch in. So I thought about leaving it at this place actually and not going any further with additional background information because I kind of liked the smoky gray stuff happening there. But because I was working on a tablet and layers are easier to mess around with, on this set of sketches, I played with a couple different concepts. And so I started with my default where I began adding in a little bit of shadow at the feet. That's just, I think, a charcoal scrub that I used. And then I think I went forward adding a little bit of a horizon line and some architectural detail as well. And then I went a little crazy. So I started playing with different light filters and textures and things like that, but decided against it as I took the layers out. But of course, if you're working on a tablet, you can put layers in and duplicate them behind all your sketches. So it's a less time intensive process of creating one and then duplicating it across your whole set of sketches. So I toyed with using this on all of them and ultimately decided not to. Even though it did somewhat represent the rock and roll lighting of the show, it just seemed a little overwhelming and distracting. So I went back to a simpler look in the end. Here is another sketch from that same production, and this one you'll see has the same background method that's more minimal than the one I experimented with. And you will also notice that it has swatches that correspond to the actual fabrics that were used to construct the costume. They are usually 2 to 3 inches wide and anywhere from 5 to 8 inches long and placed somewhere in the negative space, usually in an upper corner or to the side of the figure sketch. Swatches in general want to indicate appropriate fabrics for the construction of the garment and are ideally in the appropriate colors, but if it's not possible to find the fabric in the correct color, it's possible to acquire it in white and dye it to match the color you've painted in your costume sketch. But we'll talk more about that as we move forward talking about fabrics and swatches.